Hello and welcome. My name is Jennifer and I'm sharing my journey so far on Mounjaro. It's been 4 months, so we're wrapping that up now, and I wanted to share my experience with it so far and where I'm at. So today I'm going to be going over my weigh-ins. I want to go over some non-scale victories that I've noticed, the pictures. I'm going to do some progress and everything like that. So first I want to start with some non-scale victories, and this one's kind of funny. So you know when you're showering, you're kind of washing your body all over the place, and right here I'm noticing, I don't think it's apparent just from looking at myself or anything like that, but I can feel my collarbones. I can feel them so much better now. It's actually a little bit weird, so I catch myself going like this a lot. It's one of those weird things. And also not just my collarbone, but also like when I'm laying down, I can feel my hip bones, which I could never say that I could feel my hip bones. When I'm standing up, it's definitely not something I can feel, just because when I'm laying down, things lay differently, so I can feel those. And also sometimes when I'm in a certain position, I can feel my leg, like my knee bone. I'm going to show you here what I'm talking about, but when I'm laying down, the sides of my legs and like where my knees are on the side, I can feel those bones also not touching because they're skin and everything, but everything's more exposed than it has been. After losing weight now for 4 months, those things are like little things that I'm noticing. So it's just interesting. And I wonder if you notice things like that. If you're noticing, even if you can't see it, your collarbone, if it was covered up more. And I swear I never used to be able to feel this. So that's kind of cool. It's very interesting. Something I never even really considered. There's also a gift that I received, or even just gifts, because there's some shirts that people have gotten me and I wasn't able to really wear them before because they were just too tight. So it's hard when you get gifts sometimes, but I'm fitting into that more. And then my boyfriend got me a bracelet a while ago, and it fit me at the time, but just barely. And I was like, oh, it'll fit me one day. It fit me at that time. It was like on the verge of being too small, but it wasn't too small at the time. And I just tried it on the other day because I was kind of organizing my necklaces and stuff like that. And I tried on my bracelet and it fits with room. And even before, when I originally got the bracelet, when it did fit me, it never had that much room that it has now. I never, so next I'm going to talk about measurements. I never measured my wrist before to think that, there was going to be a difference like that. So I didn't even measure my wrist or anything like that. So if you're starting out and you're curious, measure your wrist, I guess, to see. All right, so week 19, I'm gonna share my weigh-in month 4. I can't believe it, but last week I was 255.0, and this week I am weighing in at 252.8. That is a loss for this week of 2.2 pounds. Very cool. That's a really good loss. That's a really good loss. I'm very happy for that. And that means my new total lost since starting Mounjaro is 48.1 pounds. Yay! That's so awesome. All right, so I want to share my measurements. So I did do my measurements today. All right, it is time to do some measuring again. It's month 4. I do not have my dolphin shirt this time. I think it's in the wash somewhere. I wore it at some point. I'm a little bit behind on my laundry, so you know how it goes. So someone suggested, so I've been doing the widest part of my hips, and that's always just been, kind of over here. But since losing 30-40 pounds now, it's kind of changed. So my widest part is kind of moving down. I think everything's just kind of settling in certain ways. It's settling differently. So I think I'm going to show here what I'm going to add my measurements. and someone suggested doing like a waist, which is it's kind of embarrassing because the widest, I never really knew where my waist was, so I had to like look at this little chart thing to see where everything should be. This month, I will say I wasn't expecting too big of a difference because my weight loss has kind of stayed around. It's been a lot slower than it has been in previous months. So another thing that I've been working on is, since starting Mounjaro, I've been working on being active. So that's been my weekly kind of challenge to myself. And I kind of want to, it's kind of on and off a lot of the times, depending on how busy the week is and just with other things like family and whatever is going on in the week. But I really want to get some kind of challenge going because I think those are fun, and it's something to look forward to and kind of to challenge myself. So I'm going to look into some challenges and see what I can come up with, maybe even make up my own, and share it here to see if you want to do it also. But basically, since starting, I've been trying to get at least 3 to 4 days of workout in at least. So any kind of activity, usually around 30 minutes, and then if it's extra, that's awesome. So if I can go biking for an hour or something like that, awesome. So that's kind of been what I've been doing, and I do want to get more weights going. So that's something. I have 10-pound weights. I have 5 and 10-pound weights, and that has been good. I can really tell a difference in my arms. I'm going to share it here soon when I do my measurements. I'm going to share the differences that I've seen. So like if I flex, I can kind of see my muscles more. And I wasn't able to see that before, even if I flex. So yes, I have extra skin here, so that's maybe more apparent to some people, but when I look at it myself, I'm seeing that muscle that wasn't there before, and I am very happy and proud of that. So that's cool to me, especially after trying to be more consistent with everything. I'm happy with that. So some other things I've been keeping on track with is drinking my water. I'm still trying to get to my 120 fluid ounces that my doctor suggested. It's very hard. I'm still using these really big cups. This one's 30 ounces, so even if I got 3, that's not all of it, but that's the closest that I've been getting. So I'm still working on that. I almost want to get one of those big gallon jugs that you just have to fill up once, and then you kind of look at it and you kind of judge where you are at the day, and you just keep going from there. I almost wonder if that would be helpful, but most of those are plastic, and I don't really like drinking out of plastic. If there are metal ones, I think that would be better, but a giant gallon metal jug is kind of a lot, and usually they're kind of expensive. So I'm still figuring that out, like my best way to get myself to get to 100 fluid ounces. So let me know if you have a trick that you do that you find easy to get in as much water as you can. How are you getting to your water goal? Let me know. So as for this week, my suppression has been down, my food noise has been down. That spike that I had of food noise and just intense hunger, I really do believe was from my period. And thank you to anybody who commented and also said that that's something that you experience also. I think knowing that other people experience the same thing is very validating, and it makes it feel, I don't know, like we're in this together. So thank you so much for letting me know that you also experience that also. All right, so here's a little bit of what's been going on this past week also. We did some grocery shopping. I finally tried chia seed pudding, so thank you for all your suggestions and everything. When I made it, I hadn't seen the comments yet, just with the chia seeds, and at the time I didn't really have any fruit. Okay, so this is the chia seed pudding without any kind of add-ins other than the honey that I have in here, and I won't lie, the texture might be a little bit much for me, but I wanted to give this a shot anyways. All right, so was it a good idea to try the chia seed pudding without the fruit? Maybe not. And I'm not I'm a texture person, where I'm saying I mind textures a lot of the times. Some yogurt, if it doesn't have anything added into it, it's just too much goo, if you will. And this texture of the chia seed pudding, not my favorite, but if I add something in, I think I could be into it. And something it did remind me of, though, is if you like rice pudding, it kind of reminded me of rice pudding, because when I tried it, the recipe called for vanilla and honey. So it was like a sweet, and it had the vanilla in it. So if I added like cinnamon or something, I don't know if it would be more like rice pudding in some kind of way. I didn't hate it, but it could also just potentially be too much of that texture. So I did like some of the suggestions that I got, so thank you for those. I really liked Dina from Living Mosaic. She's really great. She sent me a few comments and some suggestions on how she used it, and I am an egg lady, and I think that this is a really good idea to add them to omelet or scrambled eggs. So I'm gonna try that next, I think. So something I've been really, really wanting to share is my A1C change. I messed up a few weeks ago and I missed my appointment. I made it really, really early in the morning. I think it was like 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning. I made my appointment and I totally didn't even put on my alarm or anything. So I'm going to be able to share that soon. It's going to be coming up still. It's not here. I really regret not setting my alarm for that one. My bad. So I'm looking forward to continuing on. So thank you so much for being here. And I think that's it for now. So let me know how it's going for you. And until next time, I will check in with you next week. Bye.